Hello, everybody. Scott Golden here with the AEW Dark Report for the 18th of May 2021. Not a bad show by any stretch of the imagination, but at the same time, not the best show either, in the sense that, in fact, they've got way too many matches, 16 in total, many of which didn't need to happen, most of which actually didn't need to happen. Anyway, Dante Martin versus Selco. I'm sorry. The Martin team is a Dave Meltzer creation. They're not that great, and honestly, they don't need to be on the show every week. I don't get it. They're just rip-offs of the Bucks that are rip-offs of the Hardys, and that's the end of that. Martin hits Falco with a Gamagiri and a moonsault for near fall. Martin and Falco go to the superplex in an opening match on an internet show on top rope, but Martin shoves Selco off, wins after hitting a 450 splash, and hits his opponent in the knees or in the face with his knees, showing that guys are rushing, showing that guys are doing moves they don't know how to do, and as Dusty Rhodes would say, don't do things you don't know how to do. Anyway, Matt Hardy does a promo from the Hardy compound talking about his stable and beating members of Dark Order on Evolution last night. He announces that since members of Dark Order will be in the Battle Royal, 3 members of his team, himself and Private Party, will be in. The Battle Royal at the pay-per-view is just goofy. The sake of having Battle Royals just for the sake of having them at the pay-per-view is poor booking. Another match that doesn't need to happen. 10 of the Dark Order defeats Rise in just under 3 3/4 minutes. Some clotheslines, a pump kick, and a spine buster. Ryzen makes the shortest of comebacks. Misses a senton. 10 locks in the full Nelson slam, and then the full Nelson gets the win there. 3 matches in a row that really don't matter. Chuck Taylor with all of his best friends group against Aaron Rourke. Taylor wins a super quick squash, probably less than 2 minutes. Wins with the awful waffle, and they do the group hug spot. Lance Archer cuts a decent promo against on the TNT champion Miro, challenging him for Double or Nothing. That could be pretty decent. Lee Johnson with Cody Rhodes defeats Fuego del Sol in 7.5 minutes. Why does this match need to be 7.5 minutes? This is just, I like Lee Johnson. Lee Johnson needs more ring time, but not in this, in this approach. It's goofy and unnecessary. Johnson is probably one of the better parts of the Nightmare Family. Nightmare Family breaking apart and being redone with older talents isn't really necessary. Johnson hits a standing moonsault to get a near fall. We like standing moonsaults apparently. Del Sol counters with an electric chair into a stunner. He hits a springboard moonsault onto the floor because enhancement talents that wear masks need high spots. Nearly messes it up and lands on he gets his feet caught in the rope. And then he comes off the top of the crossbody. Johnson rolls through it and pulls Del Sol in for a slam. Del Sol rolls through that and cradles Johnson and hits him with a kick. Del Sol goes for the Tornado DDT. Johnson converts it into a Blue Thunder Bomb for the win. Too many moves just for the sake of moves that don't need to happen. The Acclaimed are here. They rap about Jon Moxley and Eddie Kingston, and they point out that they're cutting in line by getting a tag title shot, which means the rankings don't really matter. Honestly, this is probably the worst AEW show I've seen, just because there's absolutely, I'm 4 or 5 matches in, and there's absolutely nothing I like. The Acclaimed think Moxley and Kingston need a podcast because they're all talk. Anyway, so Dark Order, Evil Uno, and Colt Cabana. What a waste of Colt Cabana. Defeat Tamalia Vinesh and Duncan McNeil in 405. They announced that Uno and Cabana are in for the Battle Royal. These are AEW debuts for these are the other 2 enhancement talents. Uno hits a Hangman neckbreaker and DDT on both opponents. We don't know why. Anyway, does it this same time, follows up with a senton on Mitchell, and Cabana locks in the Billy Goat's curse for the submission win. Continuing matches that don't need to happen ever. Caesar Bononi with the Wingman defeat Marco Stunt 247. The only good thing that could have happened here is that Bononi could have botched a spot, and we could have finally blotted Marco Stunt out of wrestling completely. This did not need to go this long. This could have gone less than 30 seconds. Bononi wins with a spinning Samoan drop. Wingman jump stunt after, and there's a run in by Luchasaurus and Jungle Boy. I don't know. Stunt. I mean, to me, I assume he's either physically disabled, and they could go with that angle like he's stunted growth, no pun intended, or he's mentally disabled because he doesn't seem that intelligent, and they could go with that angle. Either way, I don't understand why he's here if we're not capitalizing on his disability on one side or the other. Nick Candelmaro with the Factory defeats Aiden Alanis. Basically, the highlight of this is QT Marshall was given a chair to sit and watch. Last Ride Powerbomb win for the Factory member. Serpentico with Luther defeating Sonny Kiss with Joey Janela in 606. Again, why does a random mask guy who doesn't really matter need 6 minutes in a match? Sonny Kiss in a singles match I like. I wish Joey Janela was off putting air in people's tires so I didn't have to look at him on my screen. Serpentico dominates the match, getting a near fall after a DDT. DDT certainly seem popular today. Misses a double foot stomp off the top rope. Kiss comes back with a comeback. Luther gets in the ring to interfere, but Janela comes in too because they've got to get their spots in. Referee Aubrey Edwards goes and keeps Janela out. Luther hits Kiss with a pump kick, and Serpentico rolls up Kiss for the win. Poor Sonny Kiss, who has a unique story that could easily be told by a better set of scriptwriters, but he's being wasted in a tag team that absolutely no one on the planet cares about unless they like backyard junk. Anyway, Big Swole and Red Velvet with Kylan King defeat Vel Vixen and Jasmine Allure in just under 4 3/4 minutes. Swole and Velvet must be a major big deal here because they're a pretty regular women's tag team, even though they don't have a women's tag team division. NWA Women's Champion Serena Deeb is shown in the crowd. Why she's not in the ring, although she does defend against Velvet tomorrow, which means Velvet doesn't need to be on this show here. Swole hits a Blue Thunder Bomb on Allure, following up with a strong knee, pin breaking up by Velvet coming in. Allure gets taken out with a spear. Swole hits the Dirty Dancing on Vet Vixen. Velvet pre-tape promo for the title match tomorrow followed. Why would this not be done before a complete squash match instead of after? And why wouldn't Velvet get a, singles match to pump the fact that she's going for the singles championship? Griff Garrison with Brian Pillman Jr. and Julia Hart defeating Deanan Rushman. Why are the tag team title challengers in singles matches when we easily could give them, a tag match to prepare for, wrestling a tag match? Anyway, Rushman is from Alaska, and he's relatively new. Anyway, basically, Rushman did look fine. Garrison hits a Falcon Arrow for near fall, and hits a rolling elbow for the win. Fine match, I guess, but why not give the tag team challengers a tag team match? Matt Sydal with Mike Sydal defeats Marty Cassius in just under 4.5 minutes. Matt's facing Christian Cage tomorrow, so of course he needs a squash match here. Taz is on commentary. Taz let us know that Team Taz will be interfering in the match tomorrow, basically implying that that's what's going to happen. Seidel wins with a lightning spiral. Taz's commentary is more interesting than the match. By the way, I wish there was the option, and maybe in 10 years there will be, to mute certain people. If I could mute Excalibur every time he's on and just listen to the people he's broadcasting with, my life would be so much better. Anyway, Chris Statlander with Best Friends defeats Diamante in 6 minutes 49 seconds. Why is this getting nearly 7 minutes? Statlander tries to boot Diamante, but Diamante bites her finger. Not a bad counter for a goofy comedy spot that belongs on indie shows. Statlander catches her with a power slam, and fight goes to the floor. Diamante gets an advantage. Avalanche dropkick in the corner, gets a near fall. Statlander comes back with a blue thunder bomb, third one of those on the show, I believe. Anyway, Diamante comes back with a Cazadora and a stunner, and a Rana into a cradle. Diamante goes for standing sliced bread, but Statlander counters with a Big Bang Theory. Gets a win here. Obviously, by this point, the show feels too long, so we need a couple more complete squashes for no good reason. Anyway, Nyla Rose with Vicky Guerrero defeats Riki Tanaki. 227. Guerrero throws Justin Roberts out of the ring so she could do the introduction that nobody cares about. Nyla Rose, who nobody cares about still, is there with the Beast Bomb getting a win. Then we go to Angelico defeats Very Morales. The only good part about that is we didn't have to see Jack Evans wrestle, because every time I do, I think of basically a really, really white straw. Anyway, Angelico looked decent. Morales hits crossbody from the top, but gets caught with a drop kick. He then locks in the Navarro Deathlock for the submission. And then we go to Brian Pillman with Julia Hart defeating Luther at 6:16. Why? I don't know. Hart does the cheerleader gimmick, which they don't really need unless they're actually going to put over why she's there, where she came from, and all sorts of other things. Also, 6.25 minutes for this match is about 3 minutes too long. Luther hits pump kick and a release German suplex. Why they don't do more with Pillman and Garrison on the heels of the Dark Side of the Ring thing, I don't understand, unless they slip over on the Bucks for the tag belts tomorrow night. But anybody beating the Bucks would make me smile on the inside. Luther starts stalking Hart. Pillman makes the save, but gets sent into the barricade for his trouble. Luther works over Pillman with hair pulls and ugly clotheslines. Pillman comes back and gets Luther up for the slam. Another crossbody off the top rope, probably third one of the show. Ugly crucifix from Pillman gets a near fall. Serpentico tries to interfere, and Pillman hits the air Pillman leaping clothesline for the win. Luther and Serpentico try to beat up Pillman, and Garrison comes back to save his partner. I don't know. It's just, there's no reason for a 16-match show where literally, I'd say 10 of them didn't even need to be on the show, and they're giving way too much time to completely independent talent. Tony Khan, probably a nice guy. I swear you don't really need wrestling talent to get on his show. You just need an idea and being able to spin yourself as worthy of something, worthy of a chance or something. Anyway, we'll be back with more right after this.